Welcome. Ready to explore 101 random facts to blow your mind right now? Let's go. Number 1. Blue whales are the largest animals known to have ever existed on Earth. Despite their immense size, they feed primarily on tiny crustaceans called krill. Through a method known as filter feeding, they swim into dense krill swarms and take in massive gulps of seawater. A single bite can yield over 450,000 calories, enough to sustain a human for nearly 250 days, demonstrating the extraordinary energy demands of these ocean giants. Number 2. Although the moon appears geologically inactive today, evidence suggests it once hosted significant volcanic activity. Studies of its surface indicate eruptions occurred from around 3 billion to 1 billion years ago. However, a 2014 NASA study proposed that volcanic activity may have persisted until just 50 million years ago. If accurate, this means lava flows lit parts of the moon's surface during the age of dinosaurs, drastically changing our understanding of lunar history. Number 3. The 9-banded armadillo has a rare reproductive trait. Every litter consists of 4 genetically identical offspring. This is because a single fertilized egg splits into 4 embryos, resulting in quadruplets that are essentially clones. While most animals prioritize genetic variation for adaptability and survival, the armadillo's strategy is unique among vertebrates. Scientists are still studying why this cloning method evolved, as it seems to contradict typical evolutionary advantages of biodiversity. Number 4. The UFO-3 is a high-tech facial hydration device developed by Foreo, Sweden. It combines thermotherapy, cryotherapy, and LED light therapy to boost skin hydration by 126% in just 2 minutes. Designed for convenience, it offers quick treatments and app connectivity for personalized skincare routines. While not everyone is a skincare enthusiast, the UFO-3's rapid effects have made it popular among those looking to reduce wrinkles and improve overall complexion efficiently. Number 5. Earth's continents are constantly on the move due to plate tectonics, and scientists predict they will eventually merge again. This future supercontinent has several proposed names, including Pangaea Proxima, Novopangaea, Amasia, and Orica. Estimates suggest that in around 250 million years, the shifting plates will reunite into one massive landmass. Although the exact shape and location are uncertain, the long-term movement of Earth's crust points to another supercontinent forming in the distant future. Number 6. Rubber bands degrade over time, becoming brittle and losing elasticity due to heat and oxidation. However, storing them in the refrigerator can significantly extend their lifespan. Cold temperatures slow down the crystallization of the rubber's polymer chains, preserving flexibility. When using refrigerated rubber bands, it's best to let them warm up before stretching to avoid snapping. This simple method is an effective way to make office and household supplies last longer. Number 7. Your brain has specialized cells called microglia that remove damaged or unnecessary cells through a process called synaptic pruning. This helps improve brain efficiency by eliminating weak or unused neural connections. The process peaks during childhood and adolescence, but continues at lower levels into adulthood. Overactive pruning has been linked to conditions like schizophrenia, while insufficient pruning is associated with disorders like Fragile X syndrome, highlighting its importance in maintaining mental health. Number 8. The University of Al-Qarawiyyin in Morocco, founded in 859 AD, holds the title of the world's oldest continuously operating institution of higher learning. Originally established as a mosque by Fatima al-Fihri, it quickly evolved into a center for education, attracting scholars from across the Islamic world. Recognized by UNESCO and the Guinness World Records, it predates both Oxford and Cambridge, making it a remarkable testament to Africa's deep intellectual and academic heritage. Number 9. Not all animals hibernate the same way. While bears undergo deep, extended hibernation during winter, other animals like birds and mice enter torpor, a lighter, short-term hibernative state. Meanwhile, creatures in hot climates, such as desert tortoises and salamanders, use estivation to survive extreme heat and drought. These variations in dormancy strategies help animals adapt to environmental stress, whether it be freezing cold or excessive heat, ensuring survival during harsh seasonal changes. Number 10. The Sahara Desert is the largest hot desert on Earth, spanning about 9.2 million square kilometers, roughly the size of the entire continental United States. Its immense size is difficult to grasp from maps alone. The Sahara's vast expanse includes sand dunes, rocky plateaus, and sparse oases, and it stretches across multiple countries in North Africa. Its scale and harsh conditions have challenged explorers, traders, and ancient civilizations for thousands of years. Number 11. In 2011, the Vatican clarified that a pope cannot be an organ donor. The reason is that upon death, the pope's body is considered sacred and becomes property of the church. It must be buried whole, without any parts removed. Additionally, if a pope were declared a saint, his organs could become relics. This would create a complex theological dilemma if parts of his body were distributed among living individuals. Number 12. Long before humans roamed the Earth, our planet may have experienced what scientists call snowball Earth, a time when the entire surface, including oceans, was covered in ice. This extreme glacial event is believed to have occurred around 650 to 800 million years ago. Evidence includes glacial deposits in tropical regions. The theory suggests that global temperatures dropped so drastically that ice reflected sunlight, further cooling the planet and creating a self-sustaining frozen state. Number 13. Goosebumps are a leftover evolutionary trait from our hairy ancestors. When triggered by cold or emotion, tiny muscles at the base of hair follicles contract, causing the hair to stand. In animals, this puffing effect helps trap heat or appear larger to predators. But for humans, who have lost most body hair, the response serves little practical use. Modern research even suggests that these muscles might contribute slightly to hair growth over time. Number 14. Although invisible to the naked eye, bacteria collectively make up a massive portion of Earth's biomass. In fact, all the bacteria on the planet are estimated to weigh around 70 gigatons, more than all animals combined, including humans, insects, and livestock. This staggering figure highlights how these microscopic organisms play essential roles in ecosystems, nutrient cycles, and even our own health, despite their minuscule size and often being overlooked in biological discussions. Number 15. Mount Everest is widely known as Earth's highest point above sea level, yet it's not the tallest mountain by other measurements. Mauna Kea, a dormant volcano in Hawaii, rises only 4,205 meters above sea level, but extends over 10,000 meters from base to peak, when measured from its underwater base. Another contender is Mount Chimborazo in Ecuador, which is farther from Earth's center than Everest due to the planet's equatorial bulge caused by rotation. Number 16. While most national anthems feature stirring lyrics, 4 countries have adopted wordless compositions. Spain's Marcha Real, Bosnia and Herzegovina's Intermeco, Kosovo's unnamed anthem, and San Marino's Himno Nacionale are all purely instrumental. These anthems serve national pride without spoken words, often due to political or cultural reasons. Unofficial lyrics exist in some cases, but none have been formally adopted, making these anthems stand out for their stately melodies alone. Number 17. While fingerprints have long been used for identification, tongues may offer an equally unique biometric signature. Each person's tongue has a distinct shape, texture, and surface pattern that could be used for security or forensic purposes. Researchers have proposed tongue scanners for secure identification, especially since tongues are harder to fake or replicate than fingerprints. Unlike voices or fingerprints, tongues also retain uniqueness even after minor injuries or environmental exposure, adding to their reliability. Number 18. In 1991, while searching for timber, a Vietnamese logger named Ho Con stumbled upon the entrance to what would later be confirmed as the world's largest cave by volume, Hang Son Giong. Located in Phong Nha Ke Bang National Park, the cave was explored in 2009. It stretches over 9 kilometers and is so vast that it contains weather systems, underground rivers, and sections large enough to fit a Boeing 747 without touching any walls. Number 19. The largest living organism by mass is not a whale or redwood tree, but a clonal colony of quaking aspen trees in Utah named Pando. Though it looks like a forest, Pando is a single organism connected by an extensive underground root system. Weighing over 6 million kilograms, it reproduces by cloning, not seeds. It's also incredibly old, estimated at around 80,000 years, making it one of the most ancient and massive life forms on Earth. Number 20. Wimbledon, one of tennis's most prestigious tournaments, is surprisingly strict about tennis ball care. To preserve bounce and consistency, balls are stored at 20 degrees Celsius in refrigerated containers before matches. Over 55,000 Schlesinger balls are used during the tournament. Afterward, they're sold to fans or donated to charities like the UK Wildlife Trust, which repurposes them as shelters for small animals, demonstrating the event's commitment to sustainability and performance excellence. Number 21. Your eyes have a natural blind spot where the optic nerve connects to the retina. This area lacks photoreceptor cells, meaning it cannot detect light. Normally, you don't notice it because your brain cleverly fills in the gap using surrounding visual information. Additionally, your other eye compensates for the missing data. You can find this blind spot through a simple test involving focusing on an object while moving another one across your field of vision. Number 22. During World War II, the U.S. Navy created an ice cream barge to boost soldier morale. This floating factory could churn out 10 gallons of ice cream every 7 minutes and was stationed in the Pacific. With alcohol banned and few luxuries available, ice cream became a treasured treat. Soldiers even risked their lives to save it, breaking into freezers to grab as much as they could before abandoning damaged ships under attack. Number 23. Nutmeg, often used to flavor desserts and holiday dishes, contains a compound called myristicin. In small amounts, it's harmless, but larger doses, more than 1 or 2 tablespoons, can cause hallucinations, nausea, dizziness, and even seizures. Myristicin affects the central nervous system, making nutmeg technically a psychoactive substance. Although rare, hospitalizations have occurred from intentional or accidental overconsumption, especially among teens experimenting with highs. It's advisable to use nutmeg strictly for culinary purposes. Number 24. The Tsar Bomba, detonated by the Soviet Union in 1961, remains the most powerful nuclear weapon ever tested. It yielded a blast of 50 megatons, over 3,000 times stronger than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. The original design intended for a 100 megaton explosion, but was reduced for safety. Even so, the shockwave from the blast nearly caused the plane that dropped it to crash, and the explosion was visible from over 600 miles away. Number 25. Flipping a coin may seem like a 50-50 chance, but research shows it's slightly biased. Statisticians have found that the coin is more likely to land on the face that was facing up before the flip, about 51% of the time. Additionally, newer U.S. pennies are more likely to land tails up due to the weight imbalance caused by Lincoln's head. While this bias is minimal, it challenges the fairness of coin tosses. Number 26. Mongolia is the world's least densely populated country, with roughly 3.4 million people spread over 1.56 million square kilometers. That's an average of just 2 people per square kilometer. This low population density is due to Mongolia's vast steppes, deserts, and rugged terrain. While its capital, Ulaanbaatar, is densely packed, much of the country consists of nomadic communities and untouched wilderness, offering a sharp contrast to the crowded conditions of many other nations. Number 27. Antarctica may be known for its icy, lifeless appearance, but it's home to Mount Erebus, an active volcano. Standing over 12,400 feet tall, Erebus has a persistent lava lake and regularly emits gas and steam. In 1979, a sightseeing plane tragically crashed into the mountain, killing all 257 on board. Erebus continues to intrigue scientists with its unusual extremophile microorganisms and geothermal activity, offering a rare hotspot in Earth's coldest environment. Number 28. Although dolphins are renowned for their aquatic skills, the two-toed sloth can actually hold its breath longer, up to an astonishing 40 minutes. When submerged, sloths automatically slow their heart rate to conserve oxygen. This adaptation helps them survive in occasional floods or during river crossings in their rainforest habitat. Surprisingly good swimmers, sloths use a kind of dog paddle motion, and their long breath-holding ability is critical for avoiding predators while moving through water. Number 29. The world's shortest scheduled commercial flight operates between the Scottish islands of Westray and Papa Westray. Covering just 1.7 miles, the journey typically takes about 90 seconds, with the record being 53 seconds. This flight has been running since 1967 and is crucial for island residents, offering a faster and more reliable alternative to boat travel. Despite its brevity, the route is a famous example of how aviation adapts to local geographic needs. Number 30. Against common expectations, Earth is actually getting greener. Satellite data from NASA shows a 5% increase in green vegetation since the early 2000s. This is largely due to reforestation efforts and agricultural expansion in countries like China and India. China's tree planting initiatives and India's crop intensification programs have boosted leaf coverage significantly. While this doesn't negate the effects of deforestation and climate change, it does highlight how targeted environmental actions can yield noticeable results. Number 31. If you could tunnel straight through the Earth and jump in, it would take about 38 minutes to reach the other side. Assuming the tunnel was a vacuum to eliminate air resistance, you'd accelerate due to gravity until reaching the center, then decelerate on your way up. While the idea is theoretical, physicists have calculated the journey based on Earth's gravitational variations and density layers. It's a fascinating thought experiment in theoretical physics. Number 32. Irving Gordon holds the world record for most miles driven in a personal vehicle. His 1966 Volvo 1800S has logged over 3.3 million miles. He credits the car's longevity to routine maintenance, changing the oil every 3,000 miles and replacing spark plugs when needed. Over the years, he's gone through dozens of tires and parts, but impressively, the original clutch lasted 450,000 miles. His dedication showcases the potential of careful car ownership. Number 33. Moore's law refers to the observation that computing power roughly doubles every 2 years, particularly in terms of transistors per chip. This exponential growth has fueled rapid advancements in technology. For context, the Apollo moon missions used computers with just 4 kilobytes of RAM. Today's smartphones and laptops are millions of times more powerful. While some speculate Moore's law may be slowing, it remains a key principle in understanding digital evolution. Number 34. Iceland ranks highest in per capita fish consumption, with the average citizen eating about 90 kilograms, 198 pounds, of seafood each year. Given Iceland's location in the North Atlantic, surrounded by rich fishing grounds, it's no surprise that fish is central to its cuisine. Dishes like haddock, cod, and Arctic char are staples. Fishing also plays a vital role in Iceland's economy, making seafood both a dietary and cultural cornerstone. Number 35. The Antarctic blackfin icefish has clear blood, a rare trait among vertebrates. Unlike most animals, it doesn't produce hemoglobin, the molecule that gives blood its red color and carries oxygen. Instead, it absorbs oxygen directly through its skin and transports it in plasma. This adaptation helps the fish survive in frigid Antarctic waters, where oxygen levels are higher. Its thin skin, lack of scales, and enlarged heart support this unusual circulatory system. Number 36. Humanity has eradicated only 2 diseases, smallpox and rinderpest. Smallpox, once a major global killer, was declared eradicated in 1980 after a worldwide vaccination campaign. Rinderpest, a viral disease affecting cattle and wildlife, was officially eradicated in 2011. It caused near-total mortality in infected herds. Its elimination was achieved through surveillance, containment, and mass livestock vaccination, marking a rare and impressive victory in the history of disease control and veterinary science. Number 37. Dolphins use unique signature whistles to identify themselves, essentially functioning like names. These high-frequency calls are developed early in life and remain consistent. Dolphins respond to their own whistle when played back, even years later, suggesting strong self-recognition and memory. They also use these whistles to communicate their presence within groups. This discovery underscores dolphins' cognitive sophistication and supports the idea that their communication system resembles a complex, individualized language. Number 38. A 2012 Swiss study suggested people are 14% more likely to die on their birthday. Researchers analyzed over 2.5 million death records and found a small but consistent increase in birthday deaths, especially among elderly individuals. Possible explanations include emotional stress, risky behavior, or clerical errors in death certificate data. While the findings are intriguing, some experts argue the difference may be due to data inaccuracies rather than genuine statistical significance. Number 39. The largest known prime number discovered so far has nearly 25 million digits. Found in 2018 by a volunteer using the GIMPS Great Internet Mersenne Prime Search Project, the number is a Mersenne prime, meaning it's one less than a power of 2. Finding such massive primes helps test computer performance and encryption methods. There's even a $150,000 prize for discovering a prime number with over 100 million digits, encouraging public participation in math. Number 40. Roughly half of the world's gold comes from South Africa's Witwatersrand Basin. This region, about the size of Ireland, has yielded more gold than any other area on Earth. Formed over billions of years, it may have collected gold from ancient meteor impacts and river systems. The discovery of gold in the 1880s transformed South Africa's economy and led to a massive gold rush. Its geological origins continue to fascinate scientists today. Number 41. The day after Thanksgiving is sometimes called Brown Friday by plumbers across the United States. It is their busiest workday of the year, not due to clogged toilets alone, but also because of food-related plumbing issues. Grease from turkey insides, fibrous vegetable scraps, and even bones are often wrongly disposed of in sinks. Combined with holiday guests and overused bathrooms, these factors create a surge in plumbing emergencies the day after Thanksgiving. Number 42. Though it appears to have 4 sides, the Great Pyramid of Giza actually has 8. Each face of the pyramid is slightly indented along its vertical center, creating a barely visible split that turns 4 sides into 8. This architectural feature is difficult to notice from the ground, and was only discovered in 1940 by a pilot who noticed the shadows during an aerial flyover at sunset. Its purpose remains a subject of scholarly debate. Number 43. Humans technically can see ultraviolet, UV light, but the eye's lens usually blocks it. However, people who have had their eye lens removed, a condition called aphakia, can detect UV light. These individuals often describe UV as a bluish-white hue. While the ability is rare, it proves that our retinas are capable of perceiving more of the electromagnetic spectrum than we normally do, offering insight into how human vision could evolve or be enhanced. Number 44. In 1971, Felicia the ferret helped clean a particle accelerator at Fermilab in Illinois. The accelerator's narrow tubes kept malfunctioning due to metallic debris, but manually cleaning them would have taken too long. So, scientists trained Felicia to run through the pipes with a cleaning cloth attached. Her natural curiosity and agility made her perfect for the job. Felicia became a beloved lab member and is remembered as one of science's most unusual assistants. Number 45. Despite its name, the banana tree is not a tree at all. It's the world's largest herb. Its trunk isn't made of wood but of tightly packed leaf bases, called a pseudostem. It lacks bark and doesn't grow from a typical root system. Instead, bananas sprout from a bulb-like structure underground called a corm. This classification places bananas in the same plant group as herbs like mint and basil, botanically speaking. Number 46. Phantom limb syndrome is a condition where amputees feel sensations, like pain, itching, or pressure, in a limb that no longer exists. This occurs because the brain's somatosensory cortex still contains a map of the missing limb. The brain continues to send and interpret signals as though the limb were still there. One effective therapy is the mirror box, which uses reflections of the existing limb to trick the brain into relieving discomfort in the missing one. Number 47. In 1972, Vesna Vulovic, a Yugoslav flight attendant, survived a fall from 33,000 feet after her plane exploded mid-air over Czechoslovakia. Trapped in a section of the fuselage, she plummeted into snowy terrain and miraculously lived. She suffered multiple injuries but made a full recovery. Experts believe her survival was aided by the snow's cushioning effect and her low blood pressure, which may have prevented her heart from failing during the fall. Number 48. The human body contains trace amounts of gold, about 2 milligrams on average. This gold enters through food, water, and environmental exposure. It's distributed in tissues and excreted through skin and hair. Though the amount is tiny, it highlights the wide variety of elements that make up the body. While you can't extract gold from hair profitably, it's fascinating to know that even precious metals are part of our biological makeup. Number 49. Some languages around the world have no known linguistic relatives and are thus called language isolates. One example is Basque, spoken in parts of northern Spain and southern France. Despite centuries of study, linguists have been unable to link Basque to any other language family. Another isolate is Zuni, spoken in the American Southwest. These languages may once belong to broader linguistic families whose other members have gone extinct over time. Number 50. China has the highest number of smokers in the world, with over 350 million people regularly using tobacco. Despite global efforts to reduce smoking, tobacco remains widely used in China, partly due to cultural norms and aggressive marketing. Chinese smokers consume more than 2 trillion cigarettes annually. Although government measures have introduced smoking bans in public areas, the sheer scale of tobacco usage in China continues to pose significant public health challenges. Number 51. U.S. Election Day was officially set in 1845 as the Tuesday following the first Monday in November. This timing was ideal for 19th century farmers who had just completed the fall harvest and could travel before winter snow. The Tuesday date allowed voters to avoid traveling on Sundays, respecting religious observance, and return home in time for weekly responsibilities. Number 52. Between 2000 and 2015, films starring or produced by Will Smith or Adam Sandler generated a combined $3.7 billion at the domestic box office. These two actors accounted for 20% of Sony Pictures' U.S. gross, and 23% of the company's profits during that period. No other studio relied so heavily on just two performers for revenue and success. Number 53. Joseph Stalin's daughter, Svetlana Alliluyeva, defected to the United States in 1967 during the Cold War. After her defection, she joined a spiritual group led by Frank Lloyd Wright's widow, Olga Vanna Lloyd Wright. This group had cult-like characteristics and unusual beliefs, making her post-defection life as unconventional as her decision to leave the Soviet Union behind. Number 54. The red panda, scientifically described in 1825, was the original animal to bear the name panda. When the more recognizable black and white creature was discovered decades later, it was labeled the giant panda. As the giant panda gained fame and conservation attention, the red panda became known as the lesser panda, despite being unrelated and discovered much earlier. Number 55. A group of Purdue University engineering students built a machine to determine how many licks it takes to reach the center of a Tootsie Pop. Their device concluded it took 364 licks. A University of Michigan model required 411 licks, while human trials varied between 144 and 252 licks, depending on technique, saliva, and licking consistency during testing. Number 56. Since 2015, the Canadian Prime Minister's official residence, 24 Sussex Drive, has remained unoccupied due to extensive renovations. The building is undergoing necessary upgrades to eliminate hazardous materials like radon and asbestos, and to modernize its outdated mechanical, heating, and electrical systems. The renovation is considered vital to ensure the safety and functionality of the historic residence. Number 57. During the Victorian era, it was customary to return or destroy love letters following the end of a romantic relationship. This practice was intended to protect the reputations and honor of both parties. Burning or returning letters helped prevent them from being used for blackmail or scandal, which could severely damage one's standing in polite society at the time. Number 58. In the 1970s, baby food brand Gerber attempted to launch a product line for adults, specifically targeting college students and young adults. The concept was based on the idea that easy-to-eat, nutritious meals might appeal to busy young people. However, the packaging and branding failed to resonate, and the adult baby food line was quickly discontinued due to poor sales. Number 59. In the classic Tintin comic strips, artist Hergé followed a visual rule where Tintin always moves from left to right on the page, while antagonists move from right to left. This subtle technique created narrative clarity and direction. The story, Cigars of the Pharaoh, had to be redrawn when this left-to-right rule was accidentally broken in some panels. Number 60. Humans emit a faint natural glow due to metabolic processes in the body. This bioluminescence is invisible to the naked eye but can be detected using ultra-sensitive cameras. The light is about 1,000 times weaker than what humans can see, and peaks in intensity during late afternoon, correlating with changes in body temperature and metabolic rhythms throughout the day. Number 61. Switzerland's 1848 Constitution took inspiration from the U.S. Constitution, adopting key democratic principles such as the separation of powers and the protection of civil liberties. However, instead of choosing a single executive leader like a president, the Swiss opted for a 7-member federal council. This collective leadership was created to balance regional interests and reduce concentration of political power. Number 62. The Austin Powers theme song, Soul Bossa Nova, was composed by legendary music producer Quincy Jones. Remarkably, he wrote the catchy, jazz-infused piece in just 20 minutes back in 1962. The track gained renewed popularity when it was used in the Austin Powers films, becoming instantly recognizable and contributing significantly to the quirky, retro vibe of the movie series. Number 63. The Boltzmann brain is a hypothetical concept in physics and philosophy, suggesting that, given infinite time, a fully formed conscious brain could randomly emerge from particles in space. This bizarre idea challenges assumptions about probability and the universe's structure, raising questions about the nature of consciousness, memory, and whether we can trust our own experiences as real or simulated. Number 64. Each year, the United States averages around 13,300 train derailments. The highest recorded number occurred in 1978, with approximately 9,400 derailments. While safety measures and regulations have improved over time, these incidents still happen due to factors like track defects, equipment failure, and human error. Most derailments are minor, but some lead to significant property damage and environmental hazards. Number 65. Despite being American revolutionaries, both George Washington and Benjamin Franklin disapproved of the Boston Tea Party. Franklin was particularly concerned with the destruction of private property and even offered to repay the British East India Company for the lost tea. Their views reflected a more cautious approach to rebellion, emphasizing diplomacy, respect for law, and the preservation of order. Number 66. One theory for why humans lost much of their facial and body hair centers on improved emotional communication. Bare skin allows for more visible changes in blood flow and coloration, which can express subtle emotions. This evolutionary development may have helped early humans build trust, respond to social cues, and strengthen group cohesion through more readable facial expressions and signals. Number 67. In 2023, a pedestrian was killed by a vehicle every 50 hours in Los Angeles, an increase from every 66 hours in 2021. This disturbing trend highlights ongoing safety issues in urban planning, infrastructure, and driver behavior. Los Angeles is currently the second most dangerous major city in the U.S. for pedestrians, prompting calls for improved crosswalks, lighting, and enforcement. Number 68. Max Martin, a Swedish songwriter and producer, ranks second only to Paul McCartney for the most Billboard #1 songs written. His long list of hits includes tracks for artists like Britney Spears, Taylor Swift, and The Weeknd. Martin's influence on pop music is immense, and his behind-the-scenes role has helped shape the sound of multiple generations of chart-topping music. Number 69. Ancient Romans used human urine as a primitive form of mouthwash. Containing ammonia, urine was believed to be effective at whitening teeth and removing stains. Though unhygienic by modern standards, this practice reflects the resourcefulness and occasional desperation of early hygiene methods. Romans also used urine in laundering and tanning, valuing its chemical properties for various cleaning and preservation tasks. Number 70. In 1911, the Mona Lisa was stolen from the Louvre by Vincenzo Peruggia, an Italian handyman who believed the painting belonged in Italy. The museum didn't notice it was missing at first, assuming it had been removed for photography. The painting was recovered 2 years later. Ironically, the theft contributed to the Mona Lisa's global fame and mystique. Number 71. Leonardo da Vinci is widely regarded as a genius of the Renaissance, yet he lacked a formal education in the classical studies typical of his time. He taught himself some Latin and began studying mathematics seriously only in his 40s. His unconventional learning path led traditional scholars to dismiss him, but his keen observations and innovative thinking eventually reshaped science and art. Number 72. Genericide occurs when a brand name becomes so commonly used that it can no longer be legally protected by trademark. A famous example is escalator, originally a trademark of the Otis Elevator Company. Over time, the term became generic for all moving staircases, causing the company to lose exclusive rights. Other examples include thermos, zipper, and trampoline. Number 73. In 2015, British betting company William Hill offered 5,000 to 1 odds on Leicester City winning the English Premier League. When the underdog team shocked the world by winning, the company paid out over $3 million in bets. As a result, William Hill and similar bookmakers now limit maximum odds to 1,000 to 1 to avoid such costly upsets in the future. Number 74. Ancient Romans often created tombs for their beloved dogs, complete with inscribed epitaphs. One example reads, "I am in tears while carrying you to your last resting place, as much as I rejoiced when bringing you home in my own hands 15 years ago." These emotional tributes show that the bond between humans and pets has deep historical roots. Number 75. A conspiracy theory claims that singer Avril Lavigne died in 2003 and was secretly replaced by a lookalike named Melissa Vandella. Supporters point to supposed changes in her appearance and behavior. While there's no credible evidence supporting this idea, it has persisted online for years and serves as an example of how celebrity rumors can take on a life of their own. Number 76. Excluding the Civil War, World War II had the highest percentage of U.S. military deaths. About 2.5% of the 16.1 million Americans who served lost their lives. The Vietnam War followed closely, with a fatality rate of approximately 2.16%. These statistics reflect the immense human toll of large-scale conflicts and the significant risks faced by soldiers in combat zones. Number 77. In 1974, President Nixon implemented permanent daylight saving time in an effort to conserve energy during the oil crisis. However, public backlash was swift, especially after dark winter mornings led to safety concerns for schoolchildren. The policy was reversed within a year, and the U.S. returned to the standard time change format still in use today, with ongoing debates about its relevance. Number 78. Margarine was once promoted as a healthier, cheaper alternative to butter. Manufacturers even added yellow coloring to make it resemble butter more closely. However, later studies revealed that margarine made with hydrogenated oils or trans fats could be more harmful to heart health than butter's natural saturated fats. This led to reformulations and stricter regulations on trans fat content in foods. Number 79. John Darwin faked his death in 2002 by disappearing during a canoe trip in northern England to avoid mounting debts. He secretly lived in a hidden section of his house, then moved abroad with his wife. The scheme unraveled when a photo of the couple taken in Panama surfaced online. He was arrested and sentenced to over 6 years in prison. Number 80. The Hellenic Navy of Greece maintains a functioning replica of an ancient trireme warship, commissioned as an official military vessel. Named the Olympias, it was constructed in the 1980s using ancient shipbuilding techniques and serves educational and ceremonial purposes. The project offers historians and naval architects a rare opportunity to study ancient Greek maritime technology in a real-life context. Number 81. Degree mills have been exposed by issuing fake diplomas to animals. In one notable case, a cat received an MBA with a 3.5 GPA. These stunts highlight the lack of oversight in unaccredited institutions and aim to raise awareness about fraud in higher education and the importance of verifying academic credentials. Number 82. From 1923 to 1969, the state of Illinois recognized American as its official language. This symbolic gesture was part of a movement to promote nationalism and distance the U.S. from European influences after World War I. The law was eventually repealed, and English remains the de facto language of government. Number 83. Author Bret Easton Ellis recorded a DVD commentary for the rules of attraction while under the influence of drugs and tequila, rendering it unusable. Instead, comedian Carrot Top, who had no involvement with the film, was brought in to record an alternate track, adding bizarre humor to the film's home release. Number 84. Scientists believe it may have rained continuously for up to 1 million years during the Triassic period. This prolonged deluge helped shape Earth's early climate and geology, contributing to erosion and the formation of new ecosystems. It's one of the most extreme examples of long-term weather patterns in Earth's history. Number 85. Jupiter's magnetic field is highly irregular. It features one magnetic north pole and two distinct south poles, one at the geographic south and another near the equator. This asymmetry is puzzling to scientists and suggests that Jupiter's internal structure and magnetic field generation differ greatly from Earth's more symmetrical magnetic configuration. Number 86. John Williams's iconic Star Wars score in 1977 marked his first full symphonic composition for film. It revitalized orchestral music in cinema and introduced a new generation to classical-style film scores. The soundtrack's commercial success launched a thriving market for movie scores, sold as standalone albums and concert performances. Number 87. Stanford University researchers developed a smart toilet that identifies users by the unique pattern of their anus and analyzes waste for health indicators. The project aims to detect diseases early through daily biological monitoring. Though unusual, the team argues it offers a hands-free, consistent method to track individual health data. Number 88. Anne V. Coates, the Oscar-winning editor of Lawrence of Arabia, edited 50 Shades of Grey when she was 89 years old. Her decades-long career showcased her adaptability and expertise across genres, from epic historical dramas to modern romance. She remained active in the editing world well into her late 80s. Number 89. Despite the success of the Apollo missions, humans only spent about 3.5 years actively landing on the moon. The last manned mission was in 1972. Since then, lunar exploration has been limited to robotic missions, though new efforts aim to return astronauts to the moon in the coming years. Number 90. Many people who stutter when speaking do not stutter while singing. This phenomenon is linked to the brain using different neural pathways for speech and music. Famous singers like Ed Sheeran, Carly Simon, and Elvis Presley had stutters, but their fluency improved dramatically when performing songs rather than speaking normally. Number 91. In several countries, including the United States, it is illegal to share a photograph of your completed election ballot. These laws aim to prevent vote selling, coercion, and election tampering. Violations can result in fines or other penalties, depending on the jurisdiction and the intent behind sharing the photo. Number 92. Charging additional fees specifically for debit card transactions is against U.S. law. Businesses can offer cash discounts, but debit card users must be charged the same price as those paying with cash. This regulation protects consumers from hidden fees and promotes fairness across transaction methods in retail and service industries. Number 93. Mexico, New York, is a small town founded in the late 18th century, decades before the country of Mexico gained independence in 1821. The town's name was inspired by revolutionary ideals, but it has no historical connection to the nation. Its early founding often surprises those unfamiliar with its American origin. Number 94. Ocean Spray is a cooperative owned by the farmers who grow its cranberries. This means profits are shared among its grower members rather than corporate shareholders. The cooperative model helps maintain stable prices for farmers and ensures they have a direct stake in the company's decisions, branding, and long-term sustainability. Number 95. Following a heart attack, the body naturally increases sleep time to promote healing. This extra rest reduces inflammation and minimizes damage to heart tissue. Medical research shows that quality sleep can play a critical role in cardiovascular recovery, helping the immune system function more efficiently during the healing process. Number 96. When the first Thai typewriter was developed in 1891, two rarely used consonants were excluded because they couldn't fit on the keyboard. This decision contributed to their decline in everyday writing. The typewriter's limitations had long-term effects on Thai language use, showing how technology can influence linguistic evolution. Number 97. Several philosophical razors help simplify complex reasoning. Hanlon's razor advises, never attribute to malice what can be explained by stupidity. Hitchens' razor states, what can be asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. These mental tools help evaluate arguments and discourage overcomplicating explanations when simpler ones may suffice. Number 98. Ancient Sparta used shouting to decide elections. Candidates would enter a hall one by one, and judges would measure the volume of applause or cheers each received. The louder the support, the more likely the candidate was to win. This system shows Sparta's unusual methods for maintaining public participation in governance. Number 99. Doritos released an online horror game in 2008 called Hotel 626, playable only between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. The game included unsettling features, such as phone calls to the player's real phone number. It was a viral marketing experiment that blended gaming, advertising, and psychological scares to promote the brand. Number 100. In the 1950s, the vocabulary gap between children and adults was relatively narrow. Over time, the gap has significantly widened due to changes in reading habits, screen time, and educational practices. Early exposure to rich language environments is now considered crucial for childhood development and future academic success. Number 101. Venus flytraps are carnivorous plants native only to a small area in North and South Carolina. They attract insects with nectar and snap shut when trigger hairs on their leaves are touched twice. This reaction is one of the fastest movements in the plant kingdom and helps them survive in nutrient-poor soil by digesting prey.